Yeah, I'm at home, so I ain't got no shoes on my feet. Tameka!
We got on, didn't we?
Girl, I had to log off, log back on. I'm like so not used to Facebook Live. So this is like telling me I need to get better. I got to do better. Because I haven't been on here. Huh?
I'm sharing it on my page now. So
Okay.
Okay, great. All right. So good evening to everybody. Before I begin, I'm going to have this amazing woman, Christina, to introduce herself. But welcome to True Identity. This podcast on Facebook, it actually occurs every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time and 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? So True Identity, y'all, we're going to get into the truth. The truth shall set you free. So this podcast is for men and women, okay? So without further ado, Miss Christina Johnson, can you tell us who you are, what you do for a living, and anything else you want us to know before we get into the interview?
That's going to take up the whole time. Hi, honey. It's so good to see you. You guys, we met in Dallas, and it's just been love ever since. So Tameka Denise, thanks for having me. I'm Christina Johnson. I'm originally from Charlotte, North Carolina. That's my hometown. I'm a country girl. I was born and raised here in Charlotte. A lot of people know me from being in Atlanta because I've been in Atlanta. Well, I was in Atlanta for almost 30 years. So a lot of people may know me from back in the day, MTV Cribs and My Super Sweet 16 and Exiled and VH1's Atlanta Exes. So yes, I'm Christina Johnson. I'm a life coach. I'm an interior designer. I have a beautiful company, an interior design firm out of Atlanta with my beautiful partner, Falia Carter, and I am a certified master life coach. I've been life coaching for about 12 years now, and it's been beautiful to watch people's lives transform in such a wonderful way. So that is, she has sent a new request. So that is who I am and what I do. If someone said you had to sum yourself up in one word, it would be love or it would be gratitude. That's who I am. I'm so grateful to the Most High for all the blessings that He's given me, the places He has taken me, and the beautiful life that I am living and have lived. So I'm very, very grateful for that. It's so much to me, so I don't want to take up all the time talking about myself, but that's who I am. And just very, very grateful.
Yeah. You know what? Thank you so much for the introduction, because one thing I can vouch for, sis, is that when I first met you, I honestly believe that was something that connected us, the genuine spirit that you had. And shout out to Sharonda Armstrong, because I know it was her event.
Yes.
And so, you know how you go somewhere and you meet a lot of men and women.
Yes.
And, you know, it's a spiritual, you can just feel it, the energy and so forth. And ladies and gentlemen, what I can say, and as we're waiting for more people to tune in, I just actually got cut off of here because I actually just shared it to my story, and I shared it to my Facebook as well.
Okay.
But as people are coming in, I think what I know for a fact that Christina and I, it was just like kindred spirits. I mean, We just got to talking briefly. We exchanged social media links, I believe, and contacts. And then basically it was genuine. It just happened. And so anybody that know me, I'm a person that likes the organically, naturally friendships and relationships, and just kind of allow it to flow and for it to happen. Nothing has to be forced. So thank you so much for your introduction. Look here tonight, y'all, we're getting ready to go into this amazing interview, which is called True Identity, okay? The whole purpose of True Identity is to help men and women to be set free from bondage, from limitations, and things that we all have settled for. It's just us being real. So please relax as you come on as we interview the amazing Christina Johnson. So as y'all coming in, go ahead and put some hearts and some fire signs in the chat to show love for this amazing woman, okay? So without further ado, Christina, I can say for myself that it took me a minute in life to actually live my truth. And so even at the age of 43 years old with 3 amazing kids, to me, it was very sad. When I look back over my life, I'm no complaints, not regretting anything. But in some things, I would say I would have done it another way.
Yes.
And or I would have waited patiently so that the timing would have aligned for things to actually excel versus to stay at a standpoint. Hey, Lachey, good evening to you. How you doing? So, true identity. Can you kind of bring us into some of the things that you would like to share? Because, ladies and gentlemen, this platform is just to encourage, inspire, and uplift people who say, I may be 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, but I do want to be set free from some things so I can live my life abundantly. So, Christina, what are some of the things that you might have had to endure or encounter that you know for a fact you were not living in truth?
Woof. So I was brought up in Charlotte, North Carolina, grew up in an abusive household. So I saw a lot of abuse happen, especially with my mom. We went through a lot. So I grew up very nervous, very scared a lot of the times. And my biological father wasn't in my life. And so I started looking for that love, that attention from boys eventually. And I was lost. I became a teenage mom at 16, again at 19, raised 2 beautiful daughters. But I went through so much. So there were so many times where I felt lost. I didn't know who I was. My identity was put, with this, like, what's wrong with me? Why isn't my dad, inviting me? Because he had, back then, that side of our family had a tire and body shop. So I would see my siblings there, but I was never invited to come. And so I thought something must be wrong with me. And I remember feeling like that throughout my life. So me leaning into, boys and them telling me I'm pretty or telling me whatever they wanted to hear, they thought I wanted to hear, really threw me off my path. And we would think that. So I'm going to get into that too. Eventually moved to Atlanta, got married, got divorced. That's a whole nother thing, married to an entertainer and that lifestyle and everything that came along with it, even things behind closed doors that I had to live through, grow through, and all the things. Because I feel like I don't regret anything. I feel like everything happens just as it should so that we can ultimately become who we are. I was having that conversation with my ex-husband the other day and just saying, thank you for being, I call the people who put me through the most of my greatest teachers. Thank you for being one of my greatest teachers, because it doesn't matter how bad the circumstances are, it brings out the best in us. Everything is happening for us, not just to us. So I don't like when people say, it ain't happening to you, it ain't happening to you, it's happening for you. No, it's happening to me. I can feel it. It's painful. I don't like the way that it feels, but it's also happening for me. So I know that everything that I went through shaped me into the woman that I've become. And I'm so incredibly proud of myself at 53 with 3 grown children and 5 grandchildren. I am so proud of the woman that I've now become, because through it all, I have forgiven myself. A lot of times we don't do that, you guys. You have to forgive yourself. You hold yourself accountable for the things that happened to you when you were a child. How could you be at fault? You were a child. You hold yourself accountable for decisions that you've made or so-called mistakes. In my mind, I don't really call them mistakes, because if everything that happened worked out for my good, it made me more resilient, it made me more powerful, it made me more strong, then was it really a mistake? And so I'm really big on making sure that I'm calling it by its name. It's just life be lifing. And we have to take life by the horns and ride this thing out. No matter the circumstances, you can overcome it. And I'm just a walking, living, breathing individual that is a witness to that, because I have been through so many things: molestation as a kid, rape as a teenager, single mom twice, teen mom. Let's be clear, a teen mom twice. 16 and 19, to being in abusive relationships, to overcoming that, to finding myself, which what we're talking about, coming into my true identity. I remember being in the car with a friend of mine, and I love being in my car, honey, either the sunroof open, the top back, whatever, listening to music. And I remember singing, and I saw the way that my friend looked at me. And it was with so much love and joy that I remember saying, I want to feel that way about myself. And at that moment, I was like, we got to change some things. You're not loving yourself. You're putting up with things that you shouldn't. And so I started to spend more time with me, because I wanted to see, like, what makes me so lovable to other people. What am I missing? I grew up very, very shy, had low self-esteem, thought I was ugly and not smart enough. And it came from the background of not being chosen or wanted. And so it took me to really spend time. I remember there's a hotel winery in Atlanta called Chateau Alon. And I remember going to Chateau Alon and spending a week and just writing. That's where my book started. I have a memoir called My Choice to Choose, and I started writing the book back then. It took me 20 years to publish that book. I had so much growing to still do, and so many things that I had to still go through to get to that point. And I remember being at that hotel and saying, okay, from now on, I'm going to spend time with me at least a few times a week. Once a week would be great. Twice a week would be ideal. 3 times would be a miracle. But I started taking myself to brunch. I started putting time aside to journal. I've been journaling since I was a kid. That's another healing tool, you guys. Journaling is so powerful because it allows you to put your feelings on paper. Some of us can't talk about it. Some of us can't express to other people or be real with ourselves about how we're really feeling. When you put it down on paper, your words are powerful. So you can actually write out how you feel. And I've been journaling since I was a kid, like, honestly. And I have so many journals stacked up. It's just been one of the things that I've done for years that has healed me. I was so blessed to have found, or the Most High found me as a young girl. So at 7 years old, being in the church, I got saved. And I remember thinking, okay, God he has my back no matter what. Whatever decisions I make, he's going to forgive me. Whatever mistakes I make, he's going to forgive me. And I remember holding on to that because I didn't grow up with a lot of mentors and people to like guide me. And just going through molestation as a kid and stuff like that, you need that. God was that for me. And so that's why even now I'm always talking about the Most High and letting people know that the Creator is real and that I've walked through so many things in my life and he's never left me, never forsaked me, never stabbed me in the back, never disrespected me. He's always had me, so I have him. And so when I go through things like another healing tool, I love to fast. People know that about me. I've done 2 40-day, 40-night fasts on just water. I have done, last year I did 120 days on fresh fruit and vegetables only, and water and coconut water those fasts will change your life. Not only does it heal your physical body, but you will feel the closest to the Most High when you're fasting. And so that's another healing modality that I've kept with me, that I've been able to share with people in the world about taking care of yourself mentally, spiritually, and physically. And so this has been a lovely journey for me. I can honestly say at 53, I still feel 23. I feel amazing.
That part.
Yes, from the inside out, Tameka.
I gotta stop you right there. Because when you said 53, I was already like, hold on, 53. Look here. She said she's 53. Okay, look here. Welcome everyone who has tuned in to True Identity. We are interviewing the amazing Christina Johnson. So as you're coming in, show some love, put some hearts in the chat. Go ahead and hit the heart button for this amazing woman. Look here, Christina. And before we get all the way deep into, because people gonna want to know, what do you do, girl? They are not believing your age. Okay?
I know.
So look here. With some of the things you have shared with us, right?
Yes.
We can't just check that off and say that was easy breezy. Oh, well, anybody could get through that. Watch this. I gotta give you your props, sis, because going through all that as a teenager, being a teenage mom, and so forth, you're the best person to tell your story and your experiences. And you're still out here encouraging, motivating, and inspiring men and women, especially on Instagram. I catch you on Instagram a lot from your posts, from your videos, from your reels, even sharing other phenomenal men and women reels and information with the people and on Facebook, okay? Look here, y'all. This is not a facade. I met this amazing woman, I believe it was this year. It was 2026.
Yeah.
So I haven't even known her for a year. When I met her, she did not invite me to this event. She was someone who registered just as I. Mm-hmm. And when we met, it was just like a connection. It wasn't nothing like, okay, but I'm trying to get to know her. I came to have a good time. I came to, of course, meet new people. But Christina and I, we just connected. Yeah. And so with that being said, before we get into this next thing here, I want to ask you, you say you fast, and you meditate and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. But typically, contrary to one's belief, typically people will complain, nag, they will be regretful, living in misery, depressed, etc. Because we're helping people to get to that true identity. What are some of the things that you faced before you got to this 53 amazing woman? What are some of the things in between that you can help us with that you had to endure in order to blossom to who you are today?
Outside of the abusive background, growing up around it, and teenage pregnancy and relocating and then going through, relationship, divorce and all of that stuff. After that, I went through I almost lost my life to Graves' disease. So Graves' disease is an autoimmune disease that attacks your thyroid, which your thyroid is the butterfly-shaped gland in your throat, right? And in 2009, Dr. Simone Whitmore actually was the one who diagnosed me. She's on Married to Medicine. She was my OBGYN for years. And I remember going to see her because I had a growth in my womb. And she was like, I got to run some blood tests because you have a goiter. And I'm like, what's a goiter? At the time, I had went through this whole thing where I lost all this weight. And that should be the precursor to the story, too, because I was in the car driving my son to school. I got back to our house. I'm in the driveway. And on the way home, I was listening to Ricky Smiley. And he was doing his inspirational morning talk with Pastor Haynes. And Pastor Haynes had got on. And I remember praying. And I grew up in a church where we spoke in tongues. And I remember speaking in tongues, but I had never interpreted the tongues. This particular morning, I heard God say through my mouth, no matter how. First, he said, this is nothing in comparison to what I'm going to give you. Then he said, and I'm saying these words, y'all, but it wasn't me. So then he says to out loud, I say, no matter how bad it gets, stand on my promises. And you know us, we can be on social media and put something up and 10,000 people can have good comments and the 10,001 person can say something negative and you will negate all the other stuff. And look at that one comment will drive you crazy, right? So of course I'm asking God, what you mean no matter how bad it gets? Because in my mind, I'm thinking, what's about to happen? And sure enough, not long after that, I got diagnosed with Graves' disease. And if you know anything about hyperthyroidism, Graves, you know that you can't have surgery. Your heart rate is too high. You lose weight from sleep. I mean, you're losing weight rapidly, right? And I was sick. I was dying. The doctor that I went to see, he was an older gentleman. And I remember him saying, "You're the sickest patient I've ever seen in all the years I've been doing medicine." He was like, your kidneys now are compromised because the tumor had grown so big, it started pushing my organs out of the way. It sat on my right kidney. My left kidney had to overcompensate. So my left kidney was getting bigger as my right was getting smaller. So he was telling me, because I had to go like once a week at this time to get blood work. And he was telling me, "You're going to go into kidney failure. And because you have hyperthyroidism, we're going to have emergency surgery, but you're going to die on the table of cardiac arrest. You're going to go into cardiac arrest because the heart rate is too high, you know." I remember going to the car and crying. Like, I would leave these appointments upset, but this particular day, I was so upset, Tameka. I was crying so bad, you guys. And I remember hearing a voice while I was crying say, "Are you going to believe the word of man, or are you going to stand on my promises?" And at that moment, I remember saying, "I'm going to stand on your promises." And I started getting these thyroid storms where I would get these fevers of like 105 is the highest. I think I saw it 105 point something. And I was so sick, and it was so debilitating that I couldn't walk some days. I had to get help, assistance to go to the bathroom. I remember my son being 9 years old trying to help me get to the restroom. And I was dying. I remember I started just saying, "Thank you, God. Thank you for everybody who's praying that's never prayed." Because people were hitting me like, "If he don't do it for you, I'm not going to believe. I've never prayed before, I'm going to pray." I remember getting on Facebook the day I got the diagnosis and was like, "Watch God work." Because one thing I know about the Most High, he's not going to allow anybody to make a fool out of him. He's going to do it. He's going to show up. He's going to do it. If you have faith, he's going to carry you through. Right? So my faith and my gratitude was on 1,000, Tameka. Like, I remember going to sleep and thinking, okay, if I don't wake up, this is going to bless. It's still going to bless, right? And I just started saying, thank you, God. Thank you for my healing. Thank you for healing my body. Thank you for everybody that is going through this, because this isn't just about me. I learned so many lessons in that, because I'm the strong one that everybody always comes to and, you know, comes through when they need something. And I remember being so weak, and I didn't want people to see me like this. I remember I had a friend at the time that was like, "What kind of friend would I be to not be here with you through this, but yet celebrate you in the good times?" But I was like, "I don't want you to see me like this." And I really had to humble myself and ask for help. I had to still be the strong person, but let everybody in on my weaknesses. I just remember being grateful ahead of time, seeing those things that are not as though they were. That's what faith is really about. That's what manifestation is really about. It's about the belief system and not just your mouth saying it. You guys got to remember that. It's the energy you put behind it, because you can say anything, but do you believe what you're saying, right? Are you feeling it in your soul? It's a vibration that comes along with that I think we don't understand. It's one thing to say it, but do you feel it? Can you see it, smell it, taste it? And I just was like, okay, God, if you told me to stand on your promises, that means I'm going to live. I just started saying, thank you. Thank you for my healing. Thank you. Thank you for everybody else is being healed through this, being touched through this, who get to see you work and become closer to you. And so that was another big thing. I had to identify with the fact that, Chris, you're not always going to be the strongest. Sometimes it's okay to be weak. 2, you're not always going to be the giver. Sometimes it's okay to ask for help. Sometimes you're not always going to be able to fix it. You're going to have to lean into the Most High and allow him to do it for you. And so that's exactly what I did. And I kept thanking him until one day I was thanking him for my healing. I remember being at Effect Fitness in Atlanta so many times, jumping up and down, because anybody that know Effect know it's a high intensity cardio workout to trap music, and it's so fun. But I remember being in that class and crying because I could jump. The fact that I walked in there, the fact that I was still here. God is so faithful. He is so true to his word. All he needs from us is trust.
That's all right there. Hold on, because I almost start jumping up and down just alone, because you said, and that's why it's important. You heard what you said? I was jumping up and down. I was excited because I could jump. That's why we can't judge people, because we don't know what a person has experienced, what they're coming out of, what they're currently sitting in and battling with at that appearing time. Y'all, welcome to True Identity. We are interviewing the phenomenal Christina Johnson. Look here, y'all. I've been seeing the comments. Thank y'all so much for the love. When y'all come in, give us some hearts, because this phenomenal woman, I know for a fact, she's going to encourage somebody to say, you know what? Come hell or high water, I'm going to learn how to be grateful. I'm going to learn how to check myself before I wreck myself. I'm going to learn how to walk in obedience and surrender.
Amen.
I'm going to remove pride, any arrogance and ego that stands in the way of me being that go-to person.
Yes.
And I'm just going to surrender, because when you don't have nothing else to do, sometimes you just got to throw your hands up and you just got to say, I got to surrender. I don't like this feelings. And this is for somebody tonight, because I feel it. Sometimes we don't know how to be vulnerable. Sometimes it's a scary feeling. Now, this is true identity. And if we can't talk about truth in a safe haven, if we can't help people, then what is our life for? Our life should be lived for a purpose. And our life does not belong to us. So what we do every day, it matters. How we speak to people, how we look at people. She just told me she was jumping up and down. She was just happy that she could actually move her joints.
Yes.
Because of what she had battled and went through. And some of us, men and women, we are going through something right now. And I ask today, before we get to this next question, that you pray over your mind. That's because everything starts in the brain. It starts in the mind. And no matter what you have experienced, what you have saw, even growing up as a little girl or a little boy, I'm not saying forget it, but I'm asking you to forgive and do this for yourself.
Yes.
So things can break off you and you can get your breakthrough, so that you can live the abundant life that God has for every last one of us. And none of us are better than anybody, but we love you on tonight. If someone has not told you that they love you, we mean that with the utmost sincerity, that we love you. We are praying that you get your breakthrough, but it is okay for you to understand that I gotta surrender, okay? So again, I felt that in my spirit. I've been seeing comments saying I felt that one. So before we get to the next question, y'all, it's true identity. Somebody's going to be set free. The true chef sets you free, okay? So I want you, oh my God, and you've been doing an amazing job, but I want you to, someone that's on this live tonight, who may come back and even replay it. When we say the things you went through, when you told us what you went through, when did you say you had that aha moment? Were you, watch this, this is so good. You took full accountability. You took full responsibility for your life.
Absolutely.
You were honest with yourself, right? And then you said, aha, hold on. I ain't been living the life that God has for me. And then you put on the real you, and then you move forward. Bring us into that.
Ooh. It's so crazy because I feel like I've been pretty authentic throughout the journey. Whether it was me not being my best self or not, I authentically walked in it, right? And that helped me take accountability. That helped me to be responsible for who I ultimately was before. And I feel like I'm still becoming. That's the purpose of still being here on this journey. I know that one day when I face the Most High, I'm going to Him empty. And I'm going to say, I used all of the gifts and the talents and everything that you gave me. I'm coming back to you empty. And so I know that I am still learning, still growing. I still have situations that I have to learn and grow through to further myself and my soul. This is a soul journey, you guys. This is not about the biggest car, biggest house I can have, the best car I can drive. This is about what is happening within me. I know that I'm not taking any of this stuff with me, but I am taking all the things that my soul has learned and how it has grown and what it has gained in the meantime. I think that we go through multiple periods of figuring out who we are and where we are. I think it's happened to me multiple times, being a teen mom and having to be responsible for children when I'm still a child myself, and understanding that, no, I'm not putting this responsibility off on anybody else. I'm going to raise my own children. Or to get to the point where it's like, I'm going to relocate and start my life over. And so I even went through things with that. In my book, it talks about, me dancing, being an exotic dancer in Atlanta. Some of these things that I share in my memoir is me really coming to terms with who I was, who I am. And I think we have multiple, growth spurts. I feel like I'm going through one right now. I'm so glad we're talking about it, because just being back in my hometown, spending time with my mom, growing our relationship and loving on each other the way that we are. I lost an aunt that was like a mom to me, my mom's sister, who I adored. She was like literally my favorite person in the world, growing through that to now feeling like, okay, now what? Because the person that was my biggest cheerleader and the one who gave me soul advice is no longer here, and just figuring these things out. I honestly feel like that's happened to me so many times, Tameka, and it will continue as long as I'm on this earth, in this avatar, in this earth suit, having this human experience. I will continue to grow and continue to evolve. And yesterday when I was at yoga, the word awakening came up. And I remember thinking, that's what's happening. I'm having a new awakening. At 53, it just continues. That's why it saddens me sometimes when I hear people say, oh, I'm too old to do this, or it's too late for me to do that. Never. As long as I'm on this journey, I am open to learning and to growing and to share. Like you said, even when I see somebody else's stuff on social media or I use someone's product, I'm always like, let me share, because this is going to bless another person. I am here to be of service to other people. I love to see people growing. I love to see people evolving. I love to see people forgiving themselves, loving themselves for the first time. Believe it or not, you can be a grown woman, a grown man, and learn to love yourself as a grown-up, right? That's what happened with me. So I love to see people growing and evolving in such a way. And if I can do anything to help with that, that is my mission here. I feel like one of them. Because again, we have so many titles, so many callings. You know what I'm saying? And we are chosen for certain things. And you just got to be brave enough to walk it out. Do it scared. And I think that's what I've learned to do over time. Like I said, I grew up very nervous, very shy. You wouldn't even be able to tell it. And the only way you get to the point where you're no longer afraid is to do it. And I don't care if the first time you do it, you're not great at it. I don't care if the 5th time you do it, you're not great at it. Keep going. When God has put something special into you, you must keep massaging the gift. You got to keep displaying it, right? Until it becomes second nature. I remember watching, and I'm going to let you speak after this. There was, I was watching one of the movies, because there's been so many renditions of it, of Martin Luther King. And I remember, I think it was Coretta that had asked one of the other ladies, how do you speak in front of crowds so easily without being nervous or without being scared? She said, I just keep doing it. The only way to hone in on these gifts, y'all, is to keep doing it. And failing isn't failing. It's just teaching you what not to do the next time. Do it again. Until God gives you the discernment, that, okay, I want you to go this route now. You know what I mean? As long as he's giving you this calling, then I need for you to do it. I have this little special that I'm doing called Live Like This. And the reason that I started it, blessings to my business partner, Fee, she came up with that. Is because people everywhere we go, they always say, how are you 53? Like, how do you look like this and you are on, you don't look like you got 5 grandkids. And it's just my little way, these short snippets of telling you how to live so that you can stay youthful, joyous. I feel like sometimes happiness is circumstantial. Like, we're happy if our bank accounts are right, or we're happy if our relationship is going right. And as soon as something is off, we're depressed and we're sad. Now, don't get me wrong. Depression is a real thing. I'm not belittling that. Some people need medication to balance them out and all of that. But a lot of times we put ourselves through so much suffering. Suffering is a choice. It really is. I've been through some horrific things in my life, almost losing my life. And I decided I'm not going to suffer. Even though my body may be going through this, my body may be suffering, my mind got to stay clear on who my creator is and the power that I have. I know in the Bible it talks about the adversary being rendered powerless. And I always say that, like, you give your power to him. He don't have none. The only power he has is the power that you give to him, right? That you relinquish to him. He's powerless. So walk in that. You know what I'm saying? Walk in the fact that you are equipped with everything you need to have the life that you want. A lot of times we don't live the life and have the desires of our heart because we choose to complain, talk down, talk about other people, covet their lives. As much as I've been through, I have no desire to be anybody but me. I wish I would go through all this illness, raising three children, now with, helping to facilitate and be there for my grandbabies, and fighting through life just to want somebody else's life. It don't make sense. I am living in the fullness of who I am, and I have no desire to be anybody else but me. And so that is what I want. I mean, I hope you guys have grabbed some nuggets here and there, because I don't want to just tell the story without telling how I got out, because I really have journeyed through this thing. And the Most High sits at the core of it. I'm proud of me. It's okay to take credit for your own strength, your own power, because some of us, we can't do it. So this is an opportunity for us to be able to sit in the fact that you are made from the creator of all freaking things. Like, there ain't nothing you can't do or can't have. Sometimes we so worried about what other people are doing and what they have that we don't stay focused on the fact that, hey, like, you have the same opportunities. You just so focused on theirs, you can't see yours. Or you're so ungrateful for the fact that you're breathing, that you can walk, that you have fingers that work, taste buds that work, you can taste. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a foodie. I can't imagine not being able to taste, okay? I love to eat.
You can't tell me, sis, that you are 53. You cannot. Tonight I have to be convinced that 53 is the new 23. So,
period. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Because the energy you got, I'm trying to compose myself over here because I did not bring a notebook, okay? But I wish I would. But I'm going to go back and replay, so I'm not even tripping, okay?
But let me tell you something funny, Tameka. Today is my fast day, right? I got all this energy and I ain't even eat today. Every Monday, I don't eat. So I don't even know I did take a power nap, though, y'all. 53 do me. It pops in and out.
Because y'all, yesterday we were conversing, and just after blue, this is hilarious, y'all. And it was like, Tameka, I'm a morning person. It was funny, y'all. It was like, during the day, she like, I think that was Saturday, I believe. She just was like, I'm about to take a nap. Like, it was like, just that fast, she had to take a nap. And I started laughing, because now that I got a little bit older, I'm 43 now, I have found myself taking naps. So,
come on.
We already know one of her remedies, take a nap.
Take a little nap, baby.
Okay, meditate and love yourself. But look, before we close out, thank y'all so much for tuning in. All you amazing men and women that's tuning in, and those who will be back to replay. Before we get out of here, sis, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you have blessed me.
Aww.
Like, this has been an amazing interview. But please touch on this. Like, I love how you just said, love yourself. Like, you can do great things. A lot of times, we get into situations and we get into circumstances where we forget that life and death lies in the power of the tongue.
Period.
And so whatever you decree and declare, whatever you speak, it says whatever man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Mm-hmm. So I have to tell people all the time, we talk about true identity. You are not your mama. You're not your daddy. You're That's not right. your sister. You're not your brother. You are not what people want you to be. You have to figure this thing out. Yes. You have to take accountability, full accountability to responsibility. You have to scan through your life and do self-evaluations on yourself. And you have to pick and say, I'm not doing that no more. Because you got to ask yourself, I tell my kids this, Christina, when you did that, when you was around that type of person, because I say, okay, you went out with them. Do you think those are your true friends? For now, watch this. Because just because my kids are 21, 20, and 9, but just because they're your friends now in this season, or you may be close to them, it doesn't mean that they're going for the long haul with you. But this is what I ask my kids. Anytime they get around family members, friends, or whoever, strangers, how did you feel when you were in their proximity? If you felt anything that was off, baby, that is energy. That's your conscience.
That's right.
And watch this, your subconscious. You got to make sure that things that you heard when you was in your mother's womb, y'all, we can go deep into this thing, okay? But it's a lot of things, y'all, your subconscious mind. It's things that you heard when you was in your mother's womb, when Absolutely. You was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and those things stuck with you.
Yes.
If your mother was going through abuse, if your daddy was on drugs, whatever the case may have been, ladies and gentlemen, in order to get acclimated with your true identity on who you are without comparing or competing against someone else or trying to be like somebody else, you have to scan through your life and say, how did I feel here? Is this for me now? It may be for me in 2001, but we in 2026. That was 25 years ago. So it does take reality checks. It does take self-evaluations. And you do have to be honest with yourself. Don't let anybody push anything on you that you know for a fact that does not belong to me. I promise y'all, you'll be so confident in your approach. You'll be so confident knowing, no, that's just not for me. That does not mean that they are bad people,
right?
Or that was a bad experience. What I'm saying that's not my appetite. I don't have an appetite for those things anymore because your taste buds does change, okay?
Yes.
And before we leave out of here, the amazing Christina Johnson is going to help us and bless us. Sis.
Yes.
For anybody right now who've been through all of this and they like, but I still complain, I'm trying to stop, and I still don't know who I am, like, what kind of encouraging message or word from the heart can you tell a teenager, a young adult, a middle-aged woman, a man, an elder that says, no, you are not those things. The enemy is a liar, and you got to take back control of your life. Sis, I pass it back to you.
So one of the things that helped me big time was meditation, right? Like really getting into my brain. Because a lot of times we don't understand that a lot of this stuff is also physical. So the brainstem lies to us. It tells us things that's not true. It's not always the adversary. Some of this stuff is habit. And some of this is what you said, surrounding ourselves with people who are negative, who complain all the time. I think I posted that in my stories today. It's almost like catching a disease, catching a cold, It's like people that are around you that's always talking negative, talking down on themselves. Me and my friends have a rule, like, we'll get on Marco Polo, which is our way of communicating because we travel the world a lot. And so when we get on there, we're not allowed to say, girl, I look a hot mess. Because every time we would be doing that. Like, ooh, girl, it's early in the morning. I just woke up. I'm looking a hot mess. And it's like, I remember my friend Lucky saying, we're not going to do that anymore. We're not going to talk down on ourselves. Even if we wake up with cold in our eyes, it's like, I still look beautiful. I still feel good. Surround yourself with people who love themselves, who honor themselves, who respect themselves. Number one, make sure that the story that you're telling yourself is true. Because a lot of times we'll tell ourselves stories that's not true. We do it even with our friends and our partners. By the time he answered the phone, or she answers the phone. You done came up with this whole story about who they been with, where they been, what happened. You weren't there. You don't know that that person is not in a life-threatening situation, but you've taken all this time to put all this negative energy into creating the story. That's one of my biggest things is what is the story that you're telling yourself? And is it true? Right? So you got to examine that. What's going on in your own mind? And use that energy to create goodness. Wherever they are, they're safe. Wherever they are, they're thinking of me. They're loving me. You have to start telling yourself a different story. Gratitude. That's a big deal. If you're not grateful for what you have now, what? If you're a parent or auntie, right? Or an uncle, and you do something for your child or your niece or nephew, and they they don't appreciate it. I don't like this. This is not what I wanted. How would you feel? Would you feel like, well, I'll go buy you something else tomorrow? If you are, don't do that. That's not healthy. But you would be like, okay, we'll see the next time I buy you something since you want to be ungrateful. You're asking the Most High for all of these things, yet you're not grateful for the things that's sitting in your lap right now, from the smallest to the biggest, and then standing on choices. The name of my book is My Choice to Choose. And the reason that I named it that was because I realized throughout my life becoming an adult, now it's my turn to choose. I can go with the way that my parents were raised, or I can set a different tone for my children. I can do it differently for me. I can break generational curses. From the time you wake up in the morning till you go to bed at night, everything is a choice. I took a nap. I could have overslept. I could have forgot. I could have not set my clock and been like, I'll just get up. I could have worn something totally different. I could have brushed my teeth or not brushed my, you know what I'm saying? From the time you get up in the morning till you go to bed, life is based on choices. So it's about just making the best choice that you can as it comes. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to be perfect. We're not going to be perfect in these human suits. I feel like the spirit is, yes. The spirit that we came here with, yes. God dwells within this body, this avatar. He tells us that. He dwells within us. So be mindful of the way that you care for yourself. If you knew or you know that you're carrying God with you, what kind of vessel are you carrying him in? Are you filling it with sugar and junk food and negative thoughts and negative words and negative feelings and horrible people surrounding you telling you negative things? Or are you giving him a real good space to be in? Are you being a clear representative of who the Most High is? Those would be some of the things that I would suggest, because that's how I've lived. If there are people in your life that talk down to you, that remind you of a past that you're no longer living in, then maybe it's okay to bless them and wish them the absolute best, but release it and let it go. You got to take care of you. We love to be the superhero for everybody. But if you're not good, the people around you are not good. Take care of you first. And people can call you selfish all they want. And we know the difference between you and you really being selfish. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a selfless person and you're being selfless in a lot of ways, but you're neglecting yourself, you have to find balance in that. From the time I wake up in the morning, it's my prayer time, my meditation time, my visualization time, my yoga time, my workout time, whatever I decide to do, and whether it's yoga or go to the gym. Before I even start answering emails, checking emails, calling folk, going to work, Fee knows, I don't clock in until I've done all of my work and I've nurtured my relationship with the Creator, and then I can be everything I need to be to everybody else. But I cannot do that if I haven't taken care of Christina first. My praise time, I have a list, and everybody who knows me, and if you ever spend the night in my house, you know. First thing in the morning, the daily praise list going. I'm singing loud, although I don't sing, and I'm giving praise. Remember, y'all, when times get rough, me and my friends have this thing where we clap, right? You going through so many things at one time, we just start clapping and praising because the adversary hates the sound of praise. Your soul feels so good during praise. So remember to praise in the times where the adversary expects you to be crying. He expects you to be burnt out. He expects you to let him just have control over your life. Let me tell you something. You got to know him as well as he knows you. Because he know what get to you. He will use the same 3 things, the same 5 things over and over. And you fall for that every single time. You got to know the tricks of the enemy so that you can tell him to get out your face, baby. Every morning I step down, I'm stepping on his neck, and he know it. He know I'm putting him in a chokehold because you tried it, but you couldn't do it. You couldn't win. You tried it, you couldn't kill me. You tried it, you couldn't do any of the negative things you tried to do, and then you try to attack people close to me, and you don't even understand how I'm warring for them. So when you come for them, I'm still covering them. You have no power. So you guys get to know the challenges. And everything ain't the enemy, like I said before. So get to know yourself. Understand that it ain't this person's fault and that person's fault. We're totally responsible for the direction that our lives go in. So make sure that you are taking the route that is faithful, that is true, that is trusting, that is kind. I always say, I give what I want, right? Because I get what I give. So you're going to get the results of what you give, whether you like it or not. So you need to decide if you're loving enough. If I want love, I got to give love. If I want peace, I have to be peace. Nobody should be walking away from me feeling like, oh my God, that was a horrible experience. You know, they should be walking away from me like, I feel like I'm a little better because I met her, or because of her compliment, or because she smiled at me, or because she said something kind. I give what I want because I understand that I'm going to get what I have given, whether I like it or not. So you guys treat people like you want to be treated. And I promise you it's going to come back to you. I promise you it will. And please don't do all this stuff and a couple times come back to Tameka like, yeah, I tried that stuff she was talking about, but it ain't really worked for me. You know, it ain't really worked for me. Understand that if it took you 20, 30, 40 years to get here, baby, it's not going to take you 2, 3, 4 days to turn this thing around. It's going to take practice. You don't go to the gym and walk out built. You don't go to the gym and walk out snatched. You have to keep going back, keep doing the work until the results show. What I know for sure, though, if you stay consistent and you stay disciplined, the results are going to show up. Point blank, period. Okay, that's it.
Clock. Look here, y'all. If you missed this, look here. If you know any man or woman, come on, y'all, who might be struggling with their true identity, y'all, because they went through something. Some people just young and still naive. Let's be clear. We all been there. But y'all, tag them in this video. Let y'all go back. Replay for those who just tuned in. Replay this, y'all. We have just interviewed the phenomenal Christina Johnson. Look here, y'all. I gotta tell y'all this. Every day you wake up, God gives you a blank sheet of paper, a new canvas. Every day.
Every day.
You heard what Christina just said. You wake up. She said, I wake up, I give praise to the Creator. You have to consult with the Creator of all things. If you do not,
come on.
What you draw, what you write on your blank sheet of paper or your new canvas or your board every day, it determines on who you first started with. If you start waking up wrong side of the bed, woke up complaining, woke up mad at somebody, cussing somebody out, and you just mad at the world, you know, your bank account didn't read what you wanted to read. Y'all, there are choices. Y'all heard her. Go get her book. My Choice to Choose.
Yes.
I can walk in mama's shoes, go down the road, or I can go the road less traveled.
Period. Yes.
And that's for me so that I can live my true identity. Look her, y'all. Go follow her now. I tagged her in here. Go follow her now. Get connected to her. I told y'all I just met her this year. Kindred Spirits. We met and we just linked up. When she was still in Texas, I was able to chill with her a little bit. We went to church. We had a good time. And then she went back home. But she better know that wasn't the first time and the last time.
That's right.
We're going to be able to connect because I'm going to get on the flight, okay? And we're going to connect again, y'all. We're going to have some amazing things coming up. Again, shout out again to Sharonda. Thank you so much for that amazing event that you had. Which allowed, that space allowed spirits like Christina and I to connect on another level. Look here, y'all. Christina, I'm going to let you give us an encouraging line. So we can just tune out. Whatever you want to tell the people to make them keep going out.
I done shared so much. I'm like, what else do I have? Let me dig in this bag.
It's all about
you. Again, I wanted to mention again, I have a new series called Live Like This. I've been posting on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. You guys, please follow me. Thank you, Tameka, for having me again. I love you, sis. It was so beautiful meeting you in Dallas, and I look forward to the friendship and sisterhood that we will continue to grow together. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this interview, and please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. But I want to just say, stay in a state of gratitude. That's my biggest thing. Be thankful no matter the circumstances, because everything is happening for you. Everything. And sometimes when it feels the worst, when it feels like ain't no way in the world it's happening for me, trust me, the power, the resilience, and the strength that's going to come out of you from these difficult situations is happening to grow you for such a time as you can't even imagine what God is going to do through you. For me, it's such a time as this where I have the opportunity to share because of the hardships, because of the things that I've been through, and because he's brought me out like shine and go. Like, I feel so good from the inside out. We worry a lot about wrinkles and fine lines and lip plumpers and all this stuff, but it's like beauty radiates from the inside out. Stay in a state of love, stay in a state of gratitude, and remember to give what you want, because you're going to get what you give. I love you very, very much, and there's nothing you all can do about it. Thank you again. I love you, Tameka Denise. Thanks for having me, honey bun.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Good night, guys. Bye. Okay, y'all. Dang, I'm surprised IG ain't kicked me off. Thank y'all so much. I'm going to see if I can. Nope, it won't let me download. Okay, let me. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, IG. I just wanted to pop on here to also give you guys access to the video if you don't follow me on Facebook. On Facebook, I have a public figure page. My personal page has been full forever. But I have a public figure page. It's me with a shaved head. So if you see a bald head lady, it's me. Put Christina Johnson in. And please follow me. I would love that. If you jumped on this live and you don't follow me on IG, but you go to my page and something that I've said resonates with you, please do me a favor and follow me on IG. I would love to have you be a part of my IG family. I love you guys. Some of the people that are closest to me now, I've met through this.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Facebook Live.
Through this avenue. So I don't negate social media. I know sometimes we get on here and it's crazy stuff and hard things to stomach. But it's also a huge blessing because we have an outlet and the opportunity to share so many things with so many people all over the world. Thank you for your follow. I love you. So yes, please follow me if you don't. I'm on TikTok. I think it's Christina Johnson 1111. On Facebook, Christina Johnson. I have 2 pages. So if you go to my personal page, it may be full. You can send me a request because as people are off of Facebook and they leave or they unfollow, I add people in. But definitely follow my my public figure page. I absolutely love you guys. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please continue to follow me as I continue to post. My Live Like This is just giving you guys tidbits of how to live your life and bring beauty to your life from the inside out, because it really and truly starts from the soul. And it's the soul, which is huge. It's inside and outside of the body. It truly starts from the heart. And I hope I continue to bless you in any way that the Creator sees fit. But I love you and thank you for sharing your heartbeats with me. I know how precious they are, and I don't take that for granted. I'll see you guys next time. I love you. Bye.